Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylee. Today I wanted to bring back a video that I had uploaded last year, and that was my Drive With Me Let's Chat 2019 that I said in that video I wanted to make that an annual video, so that is what we are doing today. So today I am leaving from my childhood home and going to my apartment at school. I just wanted to get some things done, clean up the apartment a little bit. I'm a lot more productive at the apartment than I am at home, so I figured I would just hang out there for a little bit. And we have about an hour drive ahead of us, so I wanted to chat about my 2020 and jam out to my most played songs of 2020 on Spotify. So that is what we are going to do in today's video. So yeah, let's just get started. I'm guilty about everything that I eat. Feeling myself is a felony. 'Cause I'm a black belt when I'm beating up on myself, but I'm an expert at giving love to somebody else. I always looking for a ride or die, 'cause that's the only word I'm gonna have. For those of you who don't know, I am very obsessed with Demi Lovato. And have been forever. So I am not at all surprised that that song was on this playlist, considering when it came out in March, I listened to it on repeat for a good week straight, and then at least like twice a day for the rest of the year after that. I'm a pretty girl. What's your name? My name is Carrie. Boys wanna marry, looking at my dairy. But if you want, I'll be happy to repeat it. My name is Carrie. Got a hangover, whoa, so I can go until I blow up, and I can drink until I throw up. Yeah. So give me one good reason I should leave you. I'll be fucking on you, baby. Make me feel we call you, baby. I don't know, man. We're just not. I hope the days come easy and the moments pass slow. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. You can't stop it. The chasing races down the hill. And you can try to stop my dancing feet, but I just cannot stand still. Devastation so wrong again. A woman minded that she shake it from there. You can't stop the motion on the ocean, on the sun, in the sky. You can wonder if you wanna, but I'll never respond. You can't stop the beat. I'm also very obsessed with the movie Hairspray. Like, I'm on a dating app and someone asks me what my favorite movie is and I say Hairspray. Obsessed. I want you to come on over. Why don't you come on over, baby? I don't know why'd you do this to me. You're so cold. This the part where I'm gonna get hurt. Shake the mess with your hand. Make you wish you were dead. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. So let's talk 2020, shall we? I'll start with the first quarter of the year, which is, if you can do the math, the first 3 months of the year, January, February, March, which I would call the normal months of 2020. So that was basically my winter break of my junior year and the first half of my spring semester of junior year. What did I do winter break that year? I think I just worked, which, if you don't know, I work at a preschool. I'm a preschool teacher, and I think that winter I was pretty much just a float teacher, so I just kind of like floated around the school and kind of did the work that needed to be done. And then, yeah, I mean, the first half of the semester wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. I was definitely struggling mentally a lot my junior year, just kind of like going on a day-by-day basis and just trying to get through each day. I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing in this moment. One great thing about the first quarter of the year though was that, and I've talked about this so many times on my channel, but it was just such a great experience for me. I got to go to Puerto Rico on my spring break. The way that my spring break fell last year, it was like the week before the US shut down. So I still got to go on my spring break, and me and my friend Riley went to San Juan, Puerto Rico. We planned it maybe 2 weeks before our spring break. It was one of my favorite moments of 2020. It was so fun. I vlogged it, so I will definitely link those down below if you're interested in watching those. It was such a great like mental sigh of relief for me. I hadn't felt that just like at ease and that happy in such a long time. You know, coming home and going immediately into lockdown and into quarantine was not really the way to continue that mental breath of fresh air. That was definitely one of the highlights of my 2020, and it was just so much fun. I just want to apologize in advance for how shaky the footage is for the rest of this video. I don't know what happened. I don't know if maybe my tripod got loose or what, but the rest of this video is literally so shaky, and I'm not really sure why. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
Why is it so hard to just be myself? I feel like I'm different from everyone else. I look in the mirror and what do I see? I don't really know who's looking back at me. I don't need to be the same as everyone else. I need to love myself before I love anyone else. I throw all of your stuff away and throw you out of my heart and ignore all your messages. How do you get here under my skin? Why did I never let you back in? 'Cause here we go again. The moon is howling like your friends were the night that we first met. When hoping tried to stalk you on the internet, you got a mouse for a month or 2 or 3. Kiss me once 'cause you know I had a long night. I'll break time 'cause I waited my whole life.
This song,
Don't wanna tell you what I'm feeling. Don't want this night to hit a ceiling. It's going on 18 miles down. It's f***ed up, but I'm falling. I'm here, but I'm in pieces, and I don't know how to fix this. And I don't know how to fix this. If I'm just somebody that you're gonna leave, just let me down slowly. I'll be okay. We're driving in your fast car, your fast car. We're driving all night. I really miss you if I'm with you, and when I miss you, it'll change the way I kiss you. It's like I'm the universe that you'll be in. This life is easy, all we know. That's when I look at you. Tell me, have you seen a sunset turn into a sunrise? If I said I'm falling, I know you are the world of mine.
the second quarter of the year, which was April, May, June, I would say were the 3 toughest years of my entire life. And if not, they were a very close second to some of the early months of my senior year of high school. Mentally speaking, I was not okay at all. Mentally, I was at an all-time low. This was obviously a very hard time for a lot of people. We were all in quarantine, we were all in lockdown and isolation. I, for a large majority of this time, was living on my own in my apartment. I mentioned this earlier, I was already struggling at the beginning of this year, so this just really heightened that for me. I also was going through a lot of personal things with different friendships and relationships and whatnot. I had kind of convinced myself that the way that I was living and the mental state that I was in was normal. I downplayed how much I was struggling, which I look back now and I'm like, sis, you really didn't see how bad it was? Like, it was bad. It's hard to look back and to recognize how much I was struggling and how little I was doing to help myself. I'm sorry, I know this footage is going to be so shaky and I'm so sorry about it. I did actually come to a point where I realized, sis, you're not okay and you really need to do something about it. And I had actually, with the help of my therapist, enrolled myself in a partial hospitalization program. I feel like this is very important to be open and honest about, to reduce the stigma of mental health, which is something that's of really high importance to me. It was pretty much like the hours of a school day. I think it was 9 to 3, where I basically was in intense therapeutic treatment for 2 weeks, Monday through Friday. And it was probably the best decision I could have made for myself this year. It helped me in more ways than I could ever express. It's still hard to talk about for me because it's still rather new and it's still somewhat of an open wound and I'm still healing. It changed a lot for me and I have never felt so in tune with myself. I have never felt so confident in the ways that I cope and my ability to cope. If you are in a space where you feel like you need help but you don't want to ask for it, I encourage you with every single bone and ounce of my body, please get yourself the help. There's no need to feel ashamed. There's no need to be scared. You deserve the help and you deserve to feel okay and you deserve to be okay. So please do whatever you can for yourself to make that happen for yourself.
This one is for the boy with the booming system, top down AC with the cooling system. And he ill, he fails, he might get it ill. He pop bottles and they got the right kind of bell. I said, excuse me, you're a hell of a guy. I mean, most of my mind like Pelican fly. I mean, I am Nicki Minaj and I can do stuff. That cool stuff is how you use it.
Are we freaking serious? I mean, I'm not surprised, but like, so that song is literally the Mary Poppins medley, like piano version. I'm already getting emotional. My work opened up this year on June 29th for the summer. That was the first day in Massachusetts. Child care centers were allowed to open. I was so incredibly fortunate to this summer have actually been one of the toddler teachers for this summer. And my co-teacher was my best friend Lauren, which we are still both shocked to this day that our boss actually like let us do that. Like never in a million years did we actually think that she would let us be co-teachers together running a classroom, especially of 9 2-year-olds. Like, excuse me. I just mentioned that going into that program really helped me and benefited me mentally. My job, my job and my kids this summer saved me. And I mean that with my full heart. Like, these kids saved me this summer. Lauren and I had the best group of kids. They were so funny and so loving and so sweet. It was the most rewarding thing ever. It was hard. Don't get me wrong. It was hard. Running a class of 9 2-year-olds, it's difficult. And there were many, many hard days, especially during a pandemic. It's hard. Those kids mean the absolute world to me, and they will forever and ever and ever hold the most special freaking place in my heart. As crazy as it sounds, summer 2020 was one of, if not the best summer of my life because of these kids.
You wanna play, you wanna stay, you wanna have it all. That's good, but she wants your heart and then she better lie. You can take your words, sing all your lies. I really don't care. I'm breaking down, gonna start from scratch. Shake it off like an Etch-a-Sketch. I took the record off repeat.
So the last part of the year was my fall semester of my senior year of college. My first senior year of college. I was still very largely online. I only had one class that was hybrid, so once a week in person, once a week online. This whole year was like a year of personal growth for me, like the biggest ever. And I'm sure a lot of people can say that, but this semester specifically, I feel like I hit a huge breakthrough. This semester I got a new roommate, Jill, and it has been so fun living with her. She's great. I've befriended a lot of her friends. I've had such a great time with them. They're a great group of girls. They're just so fun and definitely what I needed in my life this semester. I also rejoined my school's hip-hop team, which I haven't been on since my freshman year, and that has brought up a lot of incredible people into my life, or back into my life. That's also been really great for me. I felt very lonely this semester, even though I just mentioned that like I have so many new incredible people in my life, and I feel like a big part of that, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but my circle changed a lot over quarantine and over 2020. I lost people that I had convinced myself would be in my life for a very long time, or for the rest of my life. That was hard to navigate and still is hard to navigate. You know, it's been honestly one of the most difficult situations that I've had to like process with myself. That's definitely been very difficult, and it hit me very hard, I think, this semester specifically because I'm back in my apartment, I'm back at school, I didn't have work or like the summer to distract me. So that definitely hit me this semester and forced me to start to process what was actually going on. It's been hard to find closure for myself, and I'm still working on it, but with that, I think I've made such a huge breakthrough this year in just enjoying now and not putting too much pressure on myself or my friendships or my relationships or anything. More or less just going with the flow and not worrying about what will happen in the future. And I think that that has been something that I struggled with for such a long time, and am finally starting to get the hang of more. I very much miss seeing people and seeing my dance people and just going to campus. I'm not a fan of online school. I do not like it. I can say though that this semester I have never experienced such a low amount of anxiety with school. I have gotten such a good grasp on managing my anxiety and not overthinking situations and not putting so much pressure on myself with school. I always put so much pressure on myself when it comes to school and my grades, and I finally learned this semester that like your grades aren't everything. Like your grades aren't written in detail on your diploma. Like the jobs that you apply for aren't going to ask you what you got in calculus your junior year of college. Like it's not that deep, and I was making it so incredibly deep for myself. And this semester I finally was like, don't worry about it. And I just wish I had done that for myself sooner. Also, there were so many old Disney Channel and just old Disney songs on this playlist, but I skipped a lot of them because me and my friend Sarah, who did my Christmas drive with me, are planning on doing a Disney Channel throwback drive with me. So if you are wanting to see that, definitely subscribe so that you don't miss it.
You know I love music. This joint right here makes you wanna and no time for negative vibes, 'cause I'm waiting. Gonna live my life, feels so good to get it right. I won't take my life,
I was waiting for one of these friggin' songs the beginning of 2020 to a T.
when we're underneath the lights, my heart's no longer broken, just for a moment. Maybe it's worth another try, better place, better time.
Well, my camera is flashing at me. I was gonna wait until I got back to my apartment to do the outro, but I guess I'll do it now. To summarize, 2020 was, and I'm sure so many people can say this, it was a very trying year. It was a very challenging year. For me, at least, it was a huge year of personal and self-growth, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I had so many incredible things happen to me this year, personally, internally, all of the above. I'm very grateful for 2020 and what it's taught me. I am sending the greatest vibes to all of you in 2021. Let's make this year our year, if Miss Rona will let us, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.